Hey everybody, this is Christine Bertram and I'm coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Doesn't it feel like we were just stamping together last night? And here we are back at it on a Friday and earlier than normal too. So Friday nights are usually dedicated to potentially doing something fun. It doesn't feel like that for the last year though. Friday nights, hi Faye, Friday nights have become like any other night, it seems. Does it feel the same way for you guys? So, yeah. So I just finished work and I slid right into my seat here. That's how it goes. Hi Sandy. I think I need to take a deep breath here before we get started to make sure I'm all ready. Hi, Lisa Neeland. So, how are you guys doing today? Did you have a good Friday? Are you happy that the weekend is upon us? Hi, Nancy. Hi, Brenda. Hey, Mary Carls. I hope you guys have a lot better luck with the internet tonight. Hi, Danny. Hi, Mary Hornke. There's Deanne. Woohoo. Sherry Martin. Hi, Karen. So I know that last night a bunch of you guys were having problems with internet, and I don't know what causes that, and I don't know why for some it is and some it isn't, but I watched the replay, and hi Donna McClellan, I watched the replay and I was not seeing any hiccups or any stallings really, so I don't know. Who knows? So, hi Pamela. It was the wavelengths in the sky that was causing problems. Hi Victoria. Thanks for sharing, everybody. And as you're coming on, I love it when you say hi and where you're from. Some people ask me, like, how do I figure out who, like, who's all included in the drawing for winning the cards? Hi Lizzie. Oh, you just finished the rhubarb from your mom. Awesome. Your mom's got like quite the rhubarb patch. She brought me rhubarb dessert the other day too. So hi, Angela. Hi, Mary Ellen. So what happens is the best and easiest way to get your name into the drawing to have a chance at winning prizes for like the cards that I give away is by commenting. Sometimes you guys have privacy settings. Hi, Jolene. You know, that's right, Lisa. I was just reading your comment. It could very well be with how many people are online in your area. That very well could be. Hi, Karen Frye. Woohoo. Hi, Jeannie Parker. Hey, Arliss. Yes, I hate hiccups with technology, but you had a very good point on that, Lisa. I noticed when it was like March and April of last year and the pandemic started and it was around the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock hour, a lot of people were using the internet, or even during the day it happened that more people were using internet at home. Thanks for sharing, Melanie. And the more people that are using internet in your area, I think that the slower it gets as well and it bogs it down. So that very well could be something that's associated with it by all means. I know that, I just know that when I watched the replay, I didn't see much freezing on my end. And sometimes, you know, Facebook can cause it. I talked to Kelly about it afterwards and she said, well, maybe something happens internally with Facebook too. Who knows? So all I can do is give you advice is never be frustrated with technology when you're trying to use it. Oh, I forgot to turn my volume down. There is a work email. Try never to be frustrated with it. Just go with the flow. I know that you want to watch it live and that's the most fun, I think, because I can interact with you guys. Hi, Donna from Pennsylvania. But if it's causing you undue hardship or pain or suffering, just shut it off and come back to it. Maybe if you let it be for a little bit and come back, maybe it'll stop doing that and have it. It's got to stop its temper tantrum sometime, right? So, oh yes. So we got to love our technology. I mean, if we didn't have technology, we wouldn't be here right now together, right? So, hi, Judy Bobo. Hi, Cheryl. So tonight is the in color class, Kangaroo style. So I remember it was back in January, end of January, maybe it was February, and we did a Kangaroo card for the January monthly class. And I said, I like this layout so much and I love these kangaroos so much that I think I'm going to do these for the in color retirement class. And lo and behold, here we are. And it's already April 30th. That blows my mind. That's just how it goes. So the kangaroos are retiring. A bunch of the things that I'm using tonight are retiring. And Judy, oh, you guys, I think I'm going to turn my volume up. That was my Mario coin telling me that I got a text message. So we will get rid of that and make sure that I have no sounds coming through. So, oh, hi, Kathy King. So kangaroos are awesome. I love them. They are retiring. There is a new kangaroo stamp in one of the sets in the new annual catalog, but it's nowhere near as cute as this adorable little kangaroo that we're using tonight. It's called Kangaroo and Company, and it is it is no longer on back order. So I know Mary Carl's, you just ordered it, and the back order came the day that Mom stopped in and took it home with her already. So the kangaroo dies are off a back order. So if you guys get the bundle, yay, it'll all ship together, it should. And so some of the embossing folders I'm using tonight, the retiring goes through Monday, May 3rd, which is in Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 3 days. Basically the catalog retires. Some things will carry over and the new catalog goes live on Tuesday, the 4th. Oh yeah, so Lisa was saying that there's a new koala bear, and there's a koala and a bear set, and there's a kangaroo in there, and they're adorable. I think they're called Count on Me is the name of the stamp set, and they are adorable. There's something about this kangaroo that I love a lot. So the catalog retires on Monday, and the new catalog starts on Tuesday. So I think there is no downtime with ordering. So at 1 a.m. my time, which is Central, which is midnight or like 12 a.m. Mountain time, we should be able to order. Now, it may take a few minutes for the systems to do their processing. I was going to say their systeming. So maybe if you really want to order first thing in the morning, you'd give it till like 1:15 Central or whatever time zone you're in. You're like in the Eastern, it's 2. So. So exciting stuff. For those of you who ordered ink color clubs for me or the product shares or DSP sampler, my order is going in at 1 a.m. I am going to stay up, get that order in, and then get my butt to bed. And I'm going to do expedited shipping. So everybody who is a part of that, I will have that stuff by probably Thursday or Friday. And I'm going to take the weekend to prep and prepare. And my goal is to have everything in the mail by Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday at the earliest, Wednesday at the latest, potentially Monday, depending on how many helpers I have this weekend. So if you are in on any of that stuff, you can expect me to ship them not next week, but the week after. So this girl is going to Hawaii, and she's not going to have anything pending before she goes. So, oh yes. All right, so kangaroos are featuring the ink colors that are retiring. So every year they come out, Stampin' Up! Comes out with a new set of 5 ink colors, and they retire a set of 5 ink colors. And those ink colors last for 2 years. So the ones that are retiring, I am sad face about Pretty Peacock. I think that I would pick Pretty Peacock as my favorite. And then I would pick, Seaside Spray. I'm looking at them. And then Rococo Rose. And Purple Posy is just so light of a purple. You guys probably think I'm crazy saying this, but I'm a purple person, but I even wore purple tonight for you guys to show off my love for purple. But I wouldn't pick Purple Posy as one of my favorite colors. It's so light. And terracotta tile is okay. I think if you guys have watched me on the craft roulette recently, you know I'm a purple person and not an orange person. So those are the 5 colors that are retiring, and some of the products that are associated with them are already retired. So if you go into the online store, you will see that like the Pretty Peacock paper is gone already. I think all of the refills are gone already. I started to prepare you guys back in January, so you can't say I didn't tell you so, unless you're new to me. Yes, Fresh Freesia is better than Purple Posy. And somebody said to me, Lisa, do you think Fresh Freesia is what was supposed to be the purple color? And that was what came out after they didn't get Purple Posy just spot on. So, yeah. So, I don't remember where I was going before we were talking about ink colors. About stuff being there or not there. So your best bet is to go to the online store and look to see if something is there or not. And then you'll also see if there's updated prices, because some of the things went on clearance, so then they could be up to 60% off. So just know that come May 4th, all of that stuff will be gone. I believe the last time I checked, the paper was available as the multi-pack, but you couldn't buy some of the colors individually. Okay, so I went through last night in great depth about everything. So if you guys are curious what's going on in my card making world with the samplers, the product shares, upcoming classes, I encourage you to watch last night's Paper Pumpkin video, the first half hour. I looked at it, I was like, oh crap, I went for 30 minutes of blah, blah, blah about stuff. And so I won't repeat all of that tonight. So I will plan to tell you guys, just to, if you want to know what's going on and see what's coming up for classes and information about the product share, watch the first portion of last night's Paper Pumpkin video to see all that stuff. And then I have 2 goals by Sunday. How many of you have not done your taxes yet? Like, don't look at me. I have not completed my taxes. And I realize tax day is the 15th, the day that I leave. And I am not good at doing my taxes the day before I have to leave for a vacation. So I have a goal. By Sunday is my taxes are going to be submitted. So who else hasn't done their taxes? I'm curious who is in this camp with me because I can't be alone. I know Tyler did his back on April 10th or something. So he's done. And he said to me today, you didn't do your taxes yet? I'm like, I've been busy. So yeah. So taxes, that's one goal. And then I talked about it last night that the catalog launch party class in June is a Fun Folds class meets in color. So Gina Reel hasn't done her taxes. Good, thank you. I don't feel alone now. So there's 3 classes combined into one. So that is my creative challenge for me this weekend. I have everything kind of formulated in my head, but there's me 4 Fun Folds, and one of them uses new product, so I can't finish that one, but I can get it all completed except for the stamping because I know what I want to do. Oh, Linda hasn't done hers either. Give them to my dad. My dad has to do his taxes yet. Mary and Papa John has to do their taxes, and he doesn't use TurboTax. Papa John uses pencil and paper and pen and does them the old-fashioned way, and he gets the printouts, the blank forms. So no, he does help me though with them. My dad sat with me and we figured out if I'd have to pay, and we kind of like worked through if I had to do an estimate. So I do mine on TurboTax, and TurboTax walks me through the entire step-by-step thing. And this, yeah, I do them myself. So yes, Nancy did hers in February. Awesome. So the other thing was the in color. So it's in color colors. It's going to be a launch party, and it's going to be a Fun Folds class. So you guys should check that out. I think it's June 12th or something is the online version. My goal is to have 3 of the cards done by Sunday along with my taxes. So then on Sunday, I plan to do a showcase video of all of what I have coming up for June. So you guys can start seeing what's coming up in June, and then hopefully you can RSVP or start registering for classes already like in the next couple weeks, so that while I'm gone, I don't have to get lots of reservations or registrations. And if they come in while I'm gone, that's completely perfectly great. But I'm trying to get as much done before I leave. So woohoo! Yes. So Faye set aside next week for her taxes. Okay, good. I like that I'm not the only one. You know what? If they gave us till June 15th, I would wait till June 10th to do them. That's how I am. So, I don't get things done super early. Okay, so back to in color. We're going to make 5 Kangaroo cards. And I had mentioned in January, I thought, oh, I love this layout. So when you guys see this card, for those that didn't get the kits, you are going to be like, oh, that's her layout from Mystery Night. I think it was with the snowman card that I made, I think in the end of December, like the last week of December, that Mystery Night. And then I did the layout for a January card. So I love this layout. It's so fun and it's different, and it makes it feel like it's a different type of a card, even though it's not really that different. So I'm going to flip the camera down and we're going to get crazy with, oh, actually I'm going to do roll call really quick, because I love to tell you guys who's all here. See if you guys check in. Oh, so we have here, I'm going to start from the bottom and go up. Angela Knutson, Judy Bobo, Deanna Stell, Brenda Wood, Linda Hodge, Bobby McPherson, Karen Wetstein, Kathy Beck, Christy Warren, Kay Warren, Faye Godby, Barb Barkow, Leslie McMinn, Sandy Wicklander, Danny Olson, Latokia Trigg, Bonnie Gravelin, Jeannie Parker, Sherry Martin, Mary Carls, Lynn Beasley, Jolene Schrei, Melanie Foy, Pamela Newhauser, Feline Mays, and last but not least is Debbie Schultz. So, Feline is not joining us tonight. I think she has a crafting retreat with her upline, so she's going to be catching the replay. But yay, a bunch of you are here, so I'm so excited, you guys. I made 36 of these kits, and all 36 are gone. Feline was the last one to get one, and Debbie was second last, so they were the last two when I said last week, oh, I have 2 kits left. They were on it like glue, and so if you guys are interested in these card kits, take good notes and instructions because I'm not making more. I'm on to the next thing. So, all right. So we're going to flip down. I'm so happy that a lot of you guys are here. So Danny, I'm not sure what to tell you about your freezing. Can you go to a different area of your house? Maybe your internet reception. I know you're probably in your craft room, but you should do a little test and figure out if you go into the kitchen or if you go into the living room, if it freezes on you, because you may want to set up camp in a different room if that's why. So, all right, guys, I'm going to flip it down and we're going to look at the card. So, I wanted to show you here in the catalog, this is where you can find the in colors. It's page 143, the in color collections. So the 2019 to 2021 color collection is here. And then they have the, the 2020 to 22 right next to it. So next year at this time, I will be doing a retiring class featuring these cards. So that's where we're at with the catalog. The colors themselves look like this. We've got Rococo Rose, Terracotta Tile, Purple Posy, Seaside Spray, and my favorite. And I noticed that I had class on Wednesday, and somebody left their poor little butterfly on the pretty peacock. So somebody's missing one. So these are the colors. And in class tonight, we really didn't use a lot of ink colors for this class. I just pulled, these are the 3 colors that I believe that I used for class. Early Espresso, Night of Navy, Pretty Peacock, and Terracotta Tile. So that's what we're going to be looking at. For blends for you guys that are doing class with me tonight, we have these colors plus bronze. Hang on. I got to get the bronze. So our Kangaroo is colored with the Crumb Cake Light and Dark, Flirty for the Ears. The Baby Roo is in bronze. And then we've got some Flower Power and some hearts. And what else do we have? So we got the bait. So what I love about this set is when I was figuring out the in color class, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's 5 things in here. Hi, Sharon from Indiana. There's 5 things in here and there's 5 in colors. So there's an envelope. There are presents with a party hat. There's hearts, flowers, and then a little baby Joey. And I thought, ooh, so that was my goal. How am I going to figure out which colors will go best with these 5 things? And then that little dude, he is on the inside bottom corner of all of the insides. And then there's matching dies. And the dies cut out everything. So for you guys that got kits from me, everybody got some pieces of white cardstock. Let me grab them. Let me see if I have some here that I can show you what size that I had for you guys. I believe what I put in your kits, I gave you enough to make 5 roos and then all of the bits and parts to go with. So you got 3 pieces that look like this. So you could fit a kangaroo and a kangaroo. Let's show you what I mean by this. Excuse me. So you can fit you stamp a kangaroo here, you can stamp a kangaroo here, and then you have another sheet to do the same, another sheet to do 1, and then you have a little bit left over here, and you had a piece like this to stamp the 5 or 6 things. Yes, Judy, you don't have the kangaroo stamp, so you'll have to come up with a replacement. And that is a good point, you guys. When you do class with me, I don't know what you have or you don't have in your stamping arsenal. So I try to give you, so I gave everybody blank pieces of white paper, enough to accommodate what it would have been had you had the stamps, but I also gave everybody die cuts like this. And these are photopolymer stamps in here, so you can see that they're the ones that are see-through. So you could theoretically stamp this right. Oh, you guys, I have green hands. I was stamping with shaded spruce last night, and it didn't come off. I didn't wash my hair yet. So I know you guys, the trick for if you ever have ink on your hands is either do the dishes or wash your hair. And I didn't do either because I have a dishwasher. So it did get empty, but I didn't have to do sudsy water. So back to this. So because it's photopolymer, you could, in essence, stamp your bits on here, and I'll show you how to do that. But like Judy doesn't have the kangaroo, so this is where she's going to have to get creative. Hi, Margaret from Rhode Island and Latokia from South Carolina. Judy's gonna have to get creative on what's she gonna do. She doesn't have the kangaroo, so she'll come up with something else that she can put right on the white of all of these cards. So let's go back here. So the dies coordinate with all of the stamps, which is awesome. And I always put mine on the magnetic sheets. I hate trying to get this little flap back up in there, so I take a piece of Terra tape and I just put that there so it sticks on there, in case you're wondering what that's all about. All right, so yes, shaded spruce is yeah, and it was a lot worse. I have washed my hands today, so this was a lot darker. All right, so we'll get these guys set off to the side because I want to show you how I stamped these in class. And let's keep going through what we have here. So the in color paper that I used for you guys for these cards, let's look at these all. So there's an in color strip on each one of these. It's 5 1/4 by 2. And there's the purple posy, peacock, all 5 of the colors. When you get this paper, there's 2 patterns, that 2 pieces, 4 patterns. So one is with words, one is with a wood grain, and that's not what I used. I used for you guys all of the patterns. It has this, I don't know, that look to it. And then the other side has polka dots. And you can choose whichever side you want for your cards. I did choose, the only one I chose the polka dots for was the party one, because that seemed really cool to go with the polka dots on his hat. The rest of them I used were the subtle pattern on here, like diagonals. So that's the patterns that I use. And I think all I have left here are all words. If you look at that, I used up all of my sheets. So yeah, it's a denim look. Very cool. You got that right. Thank you. I couldn't come up with what the pattern was. Okay, so you guys have 5 envelopes from me. 5 envelopes that contain the different kits. But in one of your envelopes, and I don't know which one it is, my mom would know if she remembered. One of your kits has a strip of the butterfly, these butterfly embellishments. So the strip has 2 of each of the colors, and 1 bigger butterfly, 1 smaller butterfly. So one of your kits has that. And then this card has 4 diamonds, and this one has 2 diamonds. Your diamonds are in each of the kits. So if you are just starting to pull out your pieces now, be careful to not lose your diamonds or lose your ribbon or lose your butterflies. Okay, so I have all my stuff in one baggie here, but you guys have your 5 envelopes. So what I might recommend you do is pull out all your pieces, because you're in essence making the same card. I think I said last night that on Wednesday night I had 8 here for class, and these were a coloring marathon for these kangaroos. So I have, Sandy, I think you said last night that you colored all of yours already. So, and I did color a couple, I colored 4 of mine already. And you can see I did them differently because I wasn't quite sure what I liked better. I wasn't sure, this whole conversation came up back in January, like the kangaroo's pouch, what color it is. And so in this case, I made these 2 dark brown, and I made those, well, actually it's dark crumb cake and light crumb cake. So I've got 4 of mine done. So you guys, if you haven't done the coloring of your kangaroos yet ahead, you might want to get stamping them and get coloring them, because I'm a little bit further ahead than you are. And don't worry, I always tell you guys this isn't a race, and you can always catch up with me after the live by watching it again or a replay, or you have the PDF tutorial. So in your kit you have a piece of espresso faux ribbon. It's about, I think, 11 inches, 11 or 12. You have a piece of the Seaside Spray, which is retiring. It's Seaside Spray metallic ribbon. So the faux espresso ribbon, they come in roll like this. And then the Seaside was like that. There's Peacock and Blackberry. So the Peacock, though, you have 2 pieces in. One is in the form of just a piece like this, and the other I made into a bow for you. And I didn't make my bow yet because I always like to show you guys how to use the bow maker. So you have a piece like this, and you have a bow pre-made for you. I watched the comments on a past Facebook Live, and somebody said that just having the bows made ahead, it makes the kits all worthwhile. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Excuse me. Okay, you also have a piece of Blackberry Bliss for this card, and you have a bow that's made. I will make my bow with you. So you have some Blackberry Bliss ribbon, and then you have a piece of navy twine. And excuse me, I got the frog going on. The length of your twine is the question. You might only wrap around once, or you might go twice, depending on how long I had my mom cut them. I can't remember what I told her, so we'll get that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. And then I have this one ready for a bow. So you guys are going to get to see me make 3 bows tonight. All right, so then in your kits, you want to be careful. You have all these little pieces. And I'm going to show you how I stamp some white pieces like this. And I also have some done already. But you have a flower for this one. You have an envelope for this one. You have the baby roo for there. You have hearts for that one. And then you have presents and a party hat for this one. And I didn't color all mine because I want to show you how I colored them. And then so I have my 4 roos done here and then 1 roo to color. So I'll show you how I went about coloring Mrs. Roo here, or Miss Roo, whatever she wants to go by. Then you have, these are 2 by 5 1/4. So you have those 5 pieces of DSP. All right. And then you have, in each of your kits, you'll have your cardstock for your base. So you'll have 5 pieces of the in colors, and they are all 5 1/2 by 6 1/4, because they're scored at 4 1/4. Oh, and then they have 2 1/4 here. So it's 6 1/2 is the length for people who love measurements. Oh, so Karen, you had told me okay, so Karen just commented. So just an FYI, she has her stamped and cut already, but she didn't have any extra white cardstock nor any shapes in her kit. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I sent in an email to all people who were registered, and I said, hey, who has the Kangaroo set and doesn't want them stamped, or not stamped, but die cut? And Karen, you were one of them that said, don't die cut the pieces, just send white cardstock. And it's and Sandy Wicklander said that. And hang on, there was 4 people. It was Sandy, I think Deanne, you, and 1 more replied back saying, don't do the die cuts. Don't waste time die cutting them, because I'm going to, because you have the stamp set. So I think, though, if you didn't get any white pieces, I'm wondering if we missed putting white pieces in those 4 kits. Not just yours. It would have been just those 4 people. So my mom had those set off to the side, but I could have sworn we tucked all the white pieces in. So I'm sorry. So Sandy got extra cardstock. Okay, so I'm not sure. Sometimes... As long as you're good, that's all that matters, right? So you have your your Kangaroos all stamped and cut, so you're good. But yeah, so Sandy, you had got your extra white cardstock. So you guys, oh, Linda, yes, Linda, you were one that said don't die cut. So you guys were like, don't bother doing the die cutting because I'm going to do something else. Save your time. So I tried to save a little time. So. All right, so I'm sorry, Karen, if you didn't get any pieces of white. That wasn't my intent. So I know you have white cardstock at home, and I'm so happy that you were able to accommodate. So thanks, all is great. Okay, back on track. Okay, so you have here 5 card bases, and then you also have an assortment of the insides in your card, and then you also have the cardstock that coordinates with it. Hi, Kathy Jackson. And then you also have the white piece that is on top. So here's what I've got going on. In each of your cards, then you'll have the 5 bases. So these are little baby, not bases, inside mats, and they are all, they're small. They are, if anybody wants to know measurements, they're 3 by 4, and then the mat here is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So the outside white piece is the same as the inside white piece. Now Linda thinks she's gonna get the set. I hope you do, because I think you'll like it. So I'm gonna put all 5 of mine off to the side because I'm going to stamp those in a little bit. And then what we have here is all of these I have embossed for you. So this one is the Old World paper, and that is retiring. And then we have Dainty Diamonds. That is retiring. And then we have the Painted Texture, which is not retiring. That is carrying over. And then we have the Tasteful Textile, which is carrying over. And we have Subtle. I think that's, I couldn't see them. So for those embossing folders that I used 5 different embossing folders. Yeah, so Jolene, you're gonna have to improvise. I gave everybody, I don't know who has the stamp sets and who doesn't have stamp sets. So I don't know your guys' inventory of products. I try to remember what people order, but I don't always. So that's why if I don't know what you guys have, you get both the die cuts and you get the white paper, so that if you don't need these, just throw them away. Well, it's a sad thing. Unless you end up getting the stamp set, then you can use them. So you guys get both, because I don't know what to do. So I rather you guys be set than not be set. So these are the embossing folders. So these are the 5 that I use. I tried to use 5 different ones on each of the cards that you guys got. And then the ones that are retiring are the Dainty Diamond, Subtle, and Old World. And then the Tasteful Textile and Painted are carrying over for the future. So what can we do first? All right, so one of the things that you could do, there's nothing holding us back from gluing our embossed piece onto our colored piece. So what we're gonna do, for those of you at home that are doing cards with me right now, hi Amanda, we can go ahead, and I'm just prepping 2 of them with glue. I don't like to get too far ahead with the glue. But we can adhere our white piece, our basic white 3x4, to our mat. The mat is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then we'll have those glued together. So there's less pieces to have to mess up and work around. So in class, when I did this on Wednesday, so then this is the Subtle one. I always start people on the end with the stamping, and then while people are on one end are stamping, people on the other end can start adhering stuff together that isn't contingent upon something ahead of it. So we're gonna put the Subtle one onto, this is Rich Razzleberry, and then this last one was Rococo, and that was Blackberry Bliss. If you ever get any paper from me that has some sort of like a little edge on it that just needs to trim off, you just take your scissors and trim that. Depending on how my cutter is going, sometimes 1 or 2 pieces might get that little hair kind of hanging off the edge. All you have to do is just take your scissors. I try to do quality control, and I'm training my mom to look for that kind of stuff. But if you ever get it, all you have to do is take your scissors and trim it off. And then the last one here is the Old World paper, and this one I do a little bit more glue on. When you have an embossing folder that is a very textury embossing folder, I like to add a little bit of glue to that. Hi, Buffy. All right, so that can go on. This is Night of Navy for this base. Okay, then let's set these up here. The other thing that we can do to get some things done is we can take and fold all of your card bases and score them, or burnish them with your bone folder. So we've got the Terracotta, the Seaside, Rococo Rose, Pretty Peacock, and then last but certainly not least, Purple Posy. Okay, then the thing that we can do following this is take all of your pattern paper and let's adhere it to our card base right away so that they're stuck on there. So I had mentioned that I use the polka dots for the terracotta tile, and I use the denim look for the other ones. So I want to make sure I glue the right sides by flipping them. Hi, Diane. So we're going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back side of, I like to work in pairs. Every time I shut and open this glue, it takes time. So if I can put glue on the back of 2 of them, it saves me just a little time. All right, so that one, the polka dots is gonna go on the terracotta tile. The Rococo Rose one will go on Rococo Rose, like that. Okay, and then we're gonna do these guys. Yeah, so Jolene, if you get done with this class, you might fall in love with the Roos just like just like Linda's falling in love with them. They are so adorable and they're so versatile because the set has so many different like sentiments and occasions in it. I didn't design these cards to have the little pull-out thing for the pocket. Yeah, Latoki, your dies just arrived. Awesome. Yeah, they were on back order until this week I saw. But I'll show you what, there's a little die in here that you can use the pouch as like a little pocket. So, all right, and the last one is our seaside. So, that goes on right like that. So, I did the traditional margin, so you have 1/8 of an inch around the border here. All right, so card bases are pretty much prepped. Once we get our inside stamped, we can glue them, and once we get some more prepping done, we can put them on here. So I'm just gonna set these off to the side here so that they're not in my way. And we're gonna go ahead and prep these pieces with our ribbon. So we talked about, you guys have your bows made already, and I need to make them because I like to show you guys, if I can, how to do the bows. So this is the pretty peacock ribbon. This is carrying over, weirdly enough. It's an in color, but they carried it over. I guess they do that from time to time. And so it's old olive on one side and it's pretty peacock on the other side. So you've got a reversible ribbon. And with reversible ribbons, I don't like my bows to have one bunny ear one color and one tail the other color and vice versa. So one of the things I like to do is try to make sure that the color matches all the way around. So I want the peacock showing. And so with my loose ends here, I wonder if, let me just make sure I'm using the right piece. So one of these pieces goes, oh, that is for that piece. I was like, that's a little short for a bow. So that goes around it. So I'm gonna make sure that my peacock is facing outwards. And when I cross them like this, if I would go like that, that's putting my old olive on the top and switching it. So I have to be very careful when I do this that I want my peacock to be on the top. So now I've twisted the ribbon back on the back side here so that the peacock shows on the front because the front of my bow is over here. Then that comes underneath. And now what I have to do is as I tie the knot here, I want to make sure that my tails show peacock that way because that's the front. So I'm going to twist them as I tighten the bow, and as I tighten them, they should stay facing that, the peacock should stay facing that way. So it's, you got to just think about it a little bit when you're making a bow with the reversible ribbon. Let's get that little chunky off there. So now we've got the peacock here, peacock, peacock, and peacock. You will see the old olive because it's the top and the bottom trim is old olive. Okay, so what do we have to do to put the ribbon on here? So I use Terra tape. Do not use your liquid glue. You could use glue dots. That is fine, or whatever double-sided tape you have. But the ribbon is about 1 inch up. And you cannot put any ribbon, ha ha ha, you cannot put any adhesive right here. I almost caught myself here. I almost put it on both sides, but you do not want to. That's why I gave you enough ribbon to wrap around here. So let's just set that there. So this gets peeled off, and what we're gonna do is, I have about 1/2 of an inch there. That's what's gonna flip over, and then we're gonna put another piece of Terra tape there and prep it. Now this pretty peacock now wraps around, and it's gonna end over here. And your ribbon is gonna be a hair longer than what it needs to be, and that's okay. Just trim off the tail. I think in class we determined that it was maybe that much too long, and that's okay. I'd rather have you guys have it too long than too short. And I am gonna take another piece of Terra tape, and I'm gonna cover up a little bit of my Terra tape that I have that's exposed, because what I wanna do is I wanna pop this up on this side. So now I'm gonna grab back my pretty peacock base, and we're gonna prep this with some dimensionals. Now, you don't wanna make a trick card, so you're only putting dimensionals and putting them on it's the back side of the left edge, so right here. But then I don't wanna guess where I'm gonna put dimensionals here. So what I'll do is prep my card base with 4 dimensionals. So now I'm going as close to the edge without going over. And now when I pick off all of these, come on, little guy. I can just line this up and center it where I wanter it. Center it where you want it. I'm just looking to make sure I'm straight up and down, left and right, all that good stuff. And now what happened is when you flip it open, you don't have any adhesive over there. So one of the things that I liked to do with these bows is if you put this bow right on here, you can see there's a top and a bottom, and you can certainly see that a bow just got planted on the top. I tried to not make it look like that. So one of the tricks I like to do is to take a mini glue dot, and I put it underneath the ribbon, kind of where the bow is gonna go, and I scrunch it. So I'm gonna grab 2 glue dots, and I'm putting it underneath where the bow is gonna sit. And in essence, I'm scrunching my ribbon to bring it together. Hi, Marianne. Hi, Beth. I'm gonna bring it together. So what's happening here is it's being squished together or cinched right there with a couple glue dots. And so when I go to put my bow on there, it's gonna make it look like I actually tied it and intended, you know, like it. Nobody's gonna ever know it was 2 pieces like that. But I am gonna wait to put my bow on until I'm ready with my Kangaroo, because I always like to get my Kangaroo situated and then I know where to put my bow. So I'm gonna set that off. That one's prepped. Okay, so now that you have the general concept of what's happening, that's what we're gonna do for the rest of these. So I'm gonna take this is Blackberry Bliss. This ribbon is not carrying over. It's actually in the mini catalog. It's part of the ice cream suite of products. And it's available till potentially the end of June, or as it's always supplies last when it gets to the end of the catalog cycle. So now this ribbon is a little bit more sheer. So we're gonna do that same concept on this one. So grab some more Terra tape, and then we'll know exactly where that goes. So I like to look at it from the front, make sure I get it nice and straight there, and then flip it over. You're gonna have to trim off a little on this one as well. And then what I'm doing is covering up my Terra tape. Now by covering up the Terra tape, I'm doing that so that when I'm using the dimensionals, if this would happen to hit the card base, it would normally wanna stick to it, but I just covered it up so that it won't. Now this one goes with our, the Kangaroo looked weird to me because it had it was a white, it was white. Okay, then here we're gonna put on some dimensionals. I'm using black, that's exactly what I just grabbed. I meant to do white, but I don't think we'll see them. So grab those 4, and then you're gonna take these backs off, and then center this one on here, and then we're gonna do that same thing with scrunching our ribbon with a couple glue dots, because this is another one. Hi, Elaine Rebeck. This is another one that looks cool if the ribbon is squished a little bit. It makes it look gathered together where the bow is. And it works best using 2 glue dots like that. See that? Okay, so it's scrunched together. So that one we're gonna set off to the side. And you guys get to experience the bow maker in action again. So I call myself a really short piece, but I think we can make it work. Thanks for sharing it, Elaine. Okay, so that guy goes, again, pulling the tails down to the left and the right will get you the best tails for your money. And then we'll set this one off to the side. Oh yes, Deannie, one day you'll have everything colored before class. Then you'll be able to keep up with me. All right, let's go to this guy. So this is our Seaside Spray meets Rich Razzleberry. And this one is not a bow, you guys. This is a fake bow. And it's not even a bow because it doesn't have bunny ears. So you have a piece of really long Seaside Spray. what I would recommend doing is get your Terra tape prepped and wrap it around like we just did, like this. Get it straight. Oh, Kathy, you like that little ribbony trick I have. Okay, I should have put more Terra tape there, but I forgot, so we're just gonna put one right over the top of this. And then we're gonna trim it. So that leaves us this much. That's exactly what we're gonna do to make our fake little knot tie loose end thing here. So do not throw this away, guys. You need this extra bit for your card. So set it off with your bows. We'll get to it when we're at the end. So then now we can prep this with dimensionals. 4 seems to be the magic number. And then we're gonna put 4 of them. You guys, I'm using up my paper pumpkin dimensionals from last night. So pick those off. And now we can put this onto our card front. I just loved this blue, the seaside with the raspberry in the bouquet here. Ooh, so pretty. Okay, so that one's ready to go. Let's set that off to the side. We're gonna do we're gonna do this one next. Save the navy one for last. So we've got that piece. Now you guys have one long piece. I don't know, I got a scrapperoni here or something. I don't know what I have going. Oh, this is, okay, perfect. This is another one where it's a fake tie. So grab a piece of Terra tape, go on the back of the left side. And I like to look at the front to get my height requirements. Something like that. Another piece of Terra tape will help it stick on here. Oh, I kind of lost it, so let's go back here. And then you can trim off. And you guys will need to save that piece on your kit. This one right here, set it off to the side with your bows. I think that's a scrap that came along the way. All right, now on this one, I am gonna use the black dimensionals. Oh, and we also wanna cover this up. Don't forget to cover that up, otherwise it's gonna try to stick to your card base and you're gonna have unevenness. And then like that. And then this one's gonna go on the Rococo Rose base. This is making a lot of dimensional backings, guys. All right, so then this one goes on here. And then we can prep that. Ooh, that might be over the edge. We'll have to move him back right there. Okay, so we're almost done. We have one left after this one, and then we pretty much have our bases all prepped. Okay, set that off to the side. And we have terracotta tile left, meets Night of Navy for a party with the Roos. All right, this is where I left this one for last because I don't know what to tell you guys. I meant for it to, I don't know how much ribbon I gave you. My mom cut the twine like 2 weeks ago already. And I intended for it to wrap around twice. Now, in class on Wednesday night, the girls were telling me that they could only go around once. And I think that's because I had it in my head that I did my fake, like not wrapped all the way around thing. So if that's the case, you can only go one time around. And that's okay. It'll still look nice with one wrap around. You might end up with some extra. If you can figure out a way to get it to go twice, great. But if not, I apologize that I meant for it to go around twice, but it'll look okay with it only once too. And then what you do is you want it to end over here because the last thing you want is to have anything end over here because that will shut the card on you and you'll see it when you open it up. So I'm curious. One of you guys will have to tell me what I did. And once around, that's what the gals, I think everybody but Jill. Jill, I had all these scraps laying there and Jill found a really long scrap and she was able to make one of them fit around. And I wish I could share these with you, but they're the ends of remnants of stuff. So, all right, so we're gonna put this one on the terracotta tile. I thought, oh my gosh, terracotta tile is perfect with navy. And it was so much fun figuring out, like the flowers were perfect with this one. The hearts were perfect with the Rococo Rose. That envelope, was awesome. And baby could be with purple. I just had so much fun figuring this out. Oh, Sandy, yours was long enough for 2 times around. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Okay, well that makes me happy. It's the little things, right? The little small accomplishments. Okay, if yours is making it 2 times around, I'd like to think that everybody else's will too, that got the to-go kits. Can't tell you about the ones that weren't to go. All right, so you guys also have a bow that I made for you in your kit with the navy twine. So this navy twine is part of the well-suited suite of products, which we're going to be doing next week, Thursday. And I made my fair share of these little double baby bows. Okay, so you guys have your bow already set it off to the side, so that's ready. Okay, so that's it for bows. So what I've got done here, and if you're making things along with me and keeping up with me, great, awesome. If you're not, you can always come back. You've got the general concept of we do not want to put any adhesive over here. We want that to be clean and neat so that when somebody opens the card, they only see that little strip of ribbon there. Okay, so I've got all my bases prepped. Now we're on to the Roos, the baby Roos and the big Roos and all the bits and parts. So if you guys watched me in early April, you guys, it was April 3rd, I think, the day after Easter, I did an I did a Stamparatus class. And I showed you how to do the inserts in that class. So this is how I had it set up on Wednesday night for class. Everybody in class, nobody got up from their seats once, unless they went to go try the new cheese pretzel things. But I had everything prepped, everything was die cut, and all people had to do were put in their little pieces into, oh, that one doesn't go there. I had 2 big Stamparatuses set up. I had one set up here on each side of the table, and then I had different plates set up. So in this case, I have where's my little baby here? He needs to go in here too. Oh, I have him already. So which one am I missing? Not the envelope, but the hearts. Oh, so I still ended up with extra pieces here, guys. So let's get one of these here. All right, so what we did in class is we set this up. So if you are a demonstrator hosting and holding classes and you want to save your people attending classes from doing a lot of big shot work, you could do the die cutting, cut out your little white pieces, and then you just set up the template on the Stamparatus. And if you want to know how to do that, watch my Facebook Live from April 3rd. I have to tell you something, guys. If you're ever trying to find one of my videos, somebody asked me this not too long ago. If you are ever trying to watch one of my videos and you know the name of the class, but you don't want to hunt through all the videos in the videos section, what you can do is go to the event. Like if you know what day I did the live, so the art floral was, let's say, April 1st, or you knew the hydrangea was, I think, like April 22nd. If you had my class schedule and you know what date it is, if you go to my calendar of events on my Facebook page, I always reference the Facebook Live can be found at this link, and the YouTube Live can be found at this link. So if you know where my events, if you can find the event on my calendar, then you can always find the video that way. So just a little helpful hint. And I also do that in the discussion of each event. So if you know if you search for the event on my Facebook page and then search for the event, find it, in the discussion is the video link. So every time I do a video, I link it back to the event. So just a little helpful hint. So if you guys are curious about the Stamparatus video that I did, it's April 3rd, and you go to my calendar of events at cardsbycrispy.com, and then you can just copy that link. All right, so this is great for when you guys are doing classes or at home if you're making swap cards and you want to be consistent and do your stamping with, like, it takes time to stamp this and then go to the machine and cut it out. This way, you could stamp all these. So what I did is I had the brown set up on one side. Hi, Sarah. I had this envelope set up with Peacock, and I think I have it done. Oh, I have it. I have my pieces somewhere. And then I had this stuff set up in Night of Navy. So look at that. So perfect. So this is what people, and then the other thing too, a trick, if you can't get these out, just grab your pokey tool and they just pop right out of there. So just a great use of the Stamparatus, one of the tricks you can use with the Stamparatus. So I'm going to set this off to the side. And I just wanted to show you, that's how we did that in class on Wednesday night. Now, on this though, I have here, so let's pretend here what we've got are our pieces here. Let's pull all of these, and we have our kangaroos. So you guys, what you're gonna, so if you're not doing kangaroos, you're gonna have to figure out something. Here are my flowers. I should have an envelope. Oh, there it is. You're gonna have to figure out something. So if you don't have the kangaroos, be creative. And I cannot wait to see what you guys share. I have a class card challenge every month to see people who get online kits for me, because you guys have to do your own stamping. So I always love to see how you guys recreate my cards using other stamps. So what you should have, let's get these out of the way. What you should have for pieces, you should have your 5 roos and 5 of them stamped. You'll get that done. And then you should have your baby roo stamped. Now, the stamps are see-through enough that if, like, let me show you this. This was another way. So now let's say you only have, where is it? Let's say you only have the stamp set. So they're photopolymer, and so you should be able, let's show you this. We're gonna get Peacock Ink here, because this is also an option. Did you guys just see that? That butterfly flew off of here, and I heard it go across the table. Okay, so we're gonna grab our piercing mat here, and I'm gonna show you how you could do this. So make sure the rough edge of the paper is the bottom, the rolled smooth edge is the top. But let's say you don't have the dies and you only have the stamp set. What you can do is you just hover over it until you see where it needs to go, and voila, as Kelly would say, you have it stamped. So that's an option too. That's why I give everybody the die cut pieces. Maybe you just have the stamps and you don't have the dies. That way you can pull out your stamps and you can still have it matching, because I can't give you any stamped images. So, okay, so that was a little bit of how we, oh, you guys, we can't use that side quite yet. Someday we'll use that side when I'm not paying attention. Okay, so let's do a little coloring, because that's what I wanted to show you, how I colored them. I colored 4 of my roos already. Oh, I forgot to do all of their ears, haha. All right, it's good to get a scratch paper. So you guys, I love to color with blends, the Stampin' Blends. If you don't have these colors, you can use colored pencils, you can use chalks, you can use whatever color medium that you have. The one thing I am gonna do first is the envelope, because I wanna show you what I did with that. On my envelope here, I love this little envelope, it's adorable. There's a little heart and it's a little shiny. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I wanted to show you, it's hard to see that in the picture. What I did is I took my Rococo Rose and colored in the heart. Now there's 2 blends, a dark and a light. So I pulled out the light one, that's what I'm using. Now with that one, there's 2 options to make it shiny. One of them is the Shimmery Crystal Effects, and one is something called a fine tip glue pen. A lot of people love this fine tip glue pen, and I'll be honest with you, this is probably the first time you've ever seen me show this on a video. I don't generally use either one of these, but I have used both of them. I like the thought of this one. So I've had a hard time with this fine tip glue pen in the very beginning, but people love it to put embellishments on instead of using their green glue. I just love the green glue a lot. But what I did with this is you take this glue and you squeeze it ever so gently, just a little bit. Oh, there you go, that's enough. And what you have to do is be very careful. You gotta get this pin. This takes me more time than anything, getting that pin lined up in there. That helps, so it's like nail glue is what this is. Okay, so it's fine tip glue pen, Stampin' Up! Sells it, you can buy it through me if you want, or yourself. So what it did is it's wet glue on here now. So you can kind of see it looks kind of wet and glossy. You definitely do not want to touch this. I did this first so you guys could set this off to the side and let it dry. So we're going to set it right there so we don't forget about it. The little baby Roo, we'll do him next. So I used my bronze marker on him. Now, when I'm working in small areas, like up here in the ear area, I'm going to use the thin end, and I'll use that for the majority. I like to do the edges, and then smaller areas with the fine thin end. And then when it comes time that I have a little bit more room that I can work with, I'll switch it around and use the fine or the thick tip here. Now, it's like they do look slightly different. So what I will do is I'll go back over this just a little bit, just so it looks like they're the same color, because they color a little differently. So I don't have to worry about getting so close to the edge exact, because I hit it with the fine tip. Okay, so that's bronze, but now his nose and all of her noses, I use the bronze. So what I'm gonna do is color it with the bronze. Now you're like, well, this little baby Roo is bronze. But if you go back and do a second coat with the bronze on all of them, it makes it look darker. So I'm gonna go back, give it a second to dry, and then you can go back and there. So it's still bronze, but his nose looks just a little bit darker because I did a second coat. And you can go back and do one more, and it'll look a little bit darker every time. Okay, so little baby Roo, then we need to do Flirty Flamingo in his ear or her ear. So that's it for the Roo. So we'll set him over there, or her, whatever it is. But I gotta do Flirty Flamingo in her ear here, and I missed over here too. So we're just gonna give her a little pink ear. Not pink eye, we're gonna give her pink ear. Okay, so there we've got our flirty done. Hi, Debbie. Yes, you can start watching now to see how I colored the Roos and how we're gonna finish putting them together. And then you can always catch the replay, whatever works best for you, my dear. All right, so let's do the hearts next. I'm not ready to color the kangaroo yet. So the hearts, you know, in class, what some people did is they took the dark Rococo Rose and the light Rococo Rose, and then they made some hearts dark and some light. But what I'm gonna do is I used espresso for coloring the hearts, or I should say stamping the hearts. And espresso is a water-based marker. All of our inks are water-based except for the StazOn. So in this case, I should be able to color back and forth and it shouldn't smear it, but I like to just stay in the lines if I can. And I'm using the fine tip on this one as well. Blends are alcohol-based, where ink is water-based. You would not want to use an alcohol or a permanent ink with the blends. They'll bleed more. And the same is true when you use a water-based marker. You want to use a permanent ink pad. Otherwise, if it's water and water, they will bleed. So I'm just going to color these guys with Rococo Rose. And while I'm thinking of it, we're going to Stella the hearts a little bit. Stella, gotta bring her out every now and then, or every night. Gotta make her get a little workout in. So we just colored those. And then, so our hearts are good. Now we have our flower power here. So you can see there we've got some Granny Apple Green for our leaves. And I grabbed the light, mine says light cherry cobbler, but it is in fact light green. One of my customers got this marker and returned it, and I got her a different one. I can't honestly remember who it was at this point, but it was, you know, it still works, and so I got it back, and instead of throwing it away, I've been using it. And it says like, so the wrong barrel, but it had the right colors of the marker ends, and the marker worked perfectly fine. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just keep it and use it. So I made Seaside Spray flowers in the dark Seaside Spray. So this flower right here is dark Seaside Spray, and it's the one that has like 5 leaves on it. And this is the one where you'll have 4 diamonds in your kit. So the 4 diamonds are what goes in the center of these 4 blue flowers. So let's get all those done. So this marker is, I wonder if, oh, that's better. I was gonna say that light end, or the thin end, was just a little bit light. They're usually not that different, but I'm gonna do a second coat here of the thick end. They just seem to be more pronounced with that. Okay, then we're gonna do the Rococo Rose for our rose looking ones. And then I always forget a leaf somewhere, so I always have to wait till the end and see which one I missed, because there's always a white spot. So right there, I just realized I missed a little petal. So we'll go back and get that petal, and then I'm not gonna worry about the insides being yellow or anything, because the rhinestones will cover them up. So that's that one. You know what? I want my leaves a little darker, so I'm gonna do a second coat on them. Just by doing a second coat, it just makes them, it'll make them pop a little bit more, like that. Okay. Then we have our party hats and our party presents. Okay, we need Night of Navy. So I forgot to grab that. Let me grab it. And you have two options for the Night of Navy. You could use a blend or you could use the marker, whichever you want. So what I did is color in the bow and the wrapping that goes around it in the navy. This is the one where you have two little diamonds. Your two little diamonds are gonna go in the center of your bows. Okay, and then our party hat here, we have that. Okay, so that's it for the navy. Now you're wondering about the presents though. There is no Terra Cotta tile. Hi, Christy. a little late, but all we're doing is coloring right now. So we're only half done, I think. So how do we do that? Because I did not use a marker called Terra Cotta tile. I actually grabbed the ink pad, Terra Cotta tile, and I showed this to you guys last night in the paper pumpkin. So you guys, I generally do always start at 6 p.m. on Thursdays. And if it's, I don't generally do classes on Friday, but when I do classes on Friday, I do them at 5 because that means I get done an hour earlier and it's Friday night. So I usually try to do something with Tyler on Friday night, and he likes it better when I'm done closer to 7 versus 8 on a Friday night. So I've tricked you guys. I'm so sorry. So generally is Fridays at 5. But I did realize that it's really hard to do right at 5 when I work pretty much till 5, like 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I think my schedule is either going to have classes, I don't remember, whatever is on the paper right now is what they are. But I think for the fall, I'm going to change the Friday ones to 5:30. So, sorry you're late. I should have told you guys. I think I posted in the video or the reminder today that it was at 5, but that's how it goes, guys. The best thing about it is that there is a replay and you can catch the replay at any time. I'm tricky there, right? Oh yeah, sneaky. So we are actually, after the live tonight, I promised Tyler that we'd go to the YMCA and go work out. So that's what this girl's doing. Okay, so did you see what I just did? I dipped my Stella pen in the Terra Cotta tile ink here. And what we're gonna do is color the presents. Yeah, Christy, I know you're a go with the flow and happy-go-lucky, so I love it. It's good. You're a little late and it's all good. You get to see me color presents with a Stella pen. Yay! So you guys, Stella pen is like a blender pen. So if you guys have the blender pen, you could also use a blender pen to color in your presents. But with this, you have to be careful because that navy ink is water-based and you don't want to smear the navy ink all over the place. So I'm trying desperately hard not to hit the navy ink, but just get as close to it without hitting it. And so that's how I got Terra Cotta tile presents to match the card. Just think, you could color anything with your Stella pen and a little bit of ink. And I dipped the block into the ink so that I don't get Stella all in my ink pad. The other thing you could do is use a re-inker, and you could re-ink, put a little drop of your re-inker onto the block as well. So, boom, there we go, guys. Stella in action. You are going to want to fix this, not fix it, but wipe out the brush so that you don't have color in here. Because if you would go to color the next thing, you would get terracotta tile in that next thing. Okay, let's move that off to the side. So now we have our party hat and we have our presents colored. Last but not least, our Mama Roo, and I used light and dark crumb cake for her. So I've done these 3 already. Now, I did these 2 with a light front pouch or a front bosom area, and I did dark with these. So whatever you like best, I wanted to show you, and they match with my table here so closely. So there you can see a little closer up action, the difference between the 2. I actually like that one a little bit better. So I'm going to color this last one like this. So we've got light crumb cake and dark crumb cake. And so light crumb cake is her pouch and front area. So in this case, I've got a little bit bigger of an area, so I like to use the thick end. And I try not to go into the other area. And the main thing that I like to tell people is go slow with your coloring. The blends are meant for you to look like you're not coloring with markers, because when you color with water-based markers, you get that line action a lot. So when you do blends, the more, like the slower that you go, you allow that ink to soak into the paper. And what I do is I do a good first coat, but then you'll see a line, like you'll see a little bit. Then they're called blends. So you go back over it and you just blend everything together. The more coats that you do, the darker it's gonna get. But you have to be very careful, because the more that you saturate the paper, sometimes this blends has a possibility of seeping outside the lines, and you don't want to have it so saturated that it bleeds. I've often heard that the better that you color, or the more that you blend, the more that you'll see on this back side. So that is something I heard many moons ago. So on this one, I'm going to use my thin end and start up by her ear and get that area done first. I always do the hard parts first. And it's not that it's hard, but you got to be more careful. And then we're going to go to her little fingers, her phalanges here, and work our way up and get those little guys. I'm going to do a little bit up at the tail here. So in this case, I am not going to be blending in the true sense of using a light and a dark blending together. I'm actually going to be coloring the whole part of what is left with this dark crumb cake. And I'm keeping them separated. Got to keep them separated. Okay. So, and then we're going to do a little bit up here. So I'm doing the parts that are a little bit harder to get at. And then I'm going to switch to the thick end of my marker and go for all the rest of it. So I made 4 sets of these cards, and there's 5 in each set. So just know that the more that you use your markers, you can see what's happening when I color like this. My tip got a little bit used and loved, I guess is what you'd call that. And that happens when you use things, they're tools, like markers are tools, your scissors are tools. When you use your tools, they're gonna get worn down. And the markers like this are considered a consumable item, and you can buy another one. The sad thing is though, for me, is like you have to buy as a set now. You can't buy them individually. They used to sell the markers as a combination, but they found that most people bought them as a combination, so they took away the single marker access. Hi, Leslie. Okay, so I'm just coloring here, and I do a first coat, and then I'm gonna go back and do a second coat. So I'm not too worried. I'll show you what this looks like after my first run, and then we're gonna do a second run of color. Now, sometimes in class, I see people going like this. No, it's gonna wear out your marker, and it's gonna just wreck that tip. The harder and faster that you color like that, I feel like it hurts your marker tip more. So just be gentle with them, and they will last a lot longer. So now I've colored one coat, but you can see he looks kind of splotchy, where over here you can see they look a lot more smooth. To do that, what you're gonna do is go back now and do the circles. Don't worry about getting so close to the edge, because you've got the edge. You want to get close to it without going over, but now do that second round in the nice circular motion, and you're just gonna get it looking very, very smooth. Look at you guys getting a blend lesson here too. All right, so I'm gonna show you this again. And you can see that it's a lot more smoothed out, but there's still like a little splotchy right there. If you still see that and you're not happy with it, you can just go right back over it again. There. All right, Mama Roo is in business. So, how are you guys doing with your coloring? Give me some thumbs up, I'm curious. I know, Sandy, you had yours done ahead of time. I know a couple of you guys did yours ahead of time. How many of you, I know Danny, you were just starting. All right, so let's see here. This thing is starting to dry. I'm gonna leave it till the very end. Okay, but I did wanna show you guys something in this kit that's awesome. There's a die in here that looks like this right here. And at first I thought it was a horn. I'm like, why is there a rhinoceros horn in my dies? Well, it's not a rhinoceros horn. It's the Kangaroo's pulley-outy thing. So you cut this out and it makes that shape. And then what happens is you would attach whatever it is to it. And then there's this cuts a little slit here. And then you would slide that in there, and I'm not going to do it because my die is bigger, but then that ends up being on the back side, so your paper comes through that hole, and then there's little love notes in the stamp set, and the love notes say, thanks a bunch, hello, just a note, just for you, love you much, it's your day. Boom, awesome, so many cute little things, and they coordinate with all the little images, and you could put that on this little white piece that's dyed, cut, and attach it to this, and then whoever gets this gets to pull it out and see the little note that's on the outside. So for the class that I did tonight though, I did not use this, but for those people that have extra little white paper and the die, or you don't even have to have the die, you could cut that yourself actually. If you have a piece of white paper, literally what you do is cut yourself a 1/2 inch piece off of here, and then what you'll do is you'll round the corner like that, and then cut it like so. I mean, you just basically could make your own if you don't have the dies, and then you're gonna attach this to that, and then that slides in here. Now, here's what's gonna happen. When you get it down here, you have to look to see if you cut that good or not. Mine's hanging past the roo, so you have to cut a little more of an angle. So when you get it figured out where it needs to go, then once you've got it cut, you could stamp your little baby sentiment on there, and you could attach yours like that. Now, I didn't do that for class. That wasn't my intent for this. What I did for these is I glued them all flat on here. So, but you guys have the option if you want to do that. If you have the dies, you could cut yourself 5 of these and then stamp your little sentiments on, and you'll be good to go. GTG. Okay, so our flower here. Let me show you how I put this one together. So on this one, okay, let's show you the baby. The baby looks good with him inside her pocket like that, okay? What I would do if I were you, I didn't do it on this one, but you could trim so that the hands or his little phalanges are right up to the edge here, so that when you put in the kangaroo, his hands are kind of like more on her belly. There's not that little white ridge there. So this one is one that he's in her belly. Get in my belly, right? As yeah, Austin Powers movie. Get in my belly. Okay, this one too, I'm tucking that one in there slightly. Now with the flowers though, and that was the one I was going to start with, I didn't want to tuck them in. They didn't fit good tucked in. I thought they actually looked better hanging over the top a little bit like that, because flowers generally have that rolling over whatever they're in effect. So what I did for this one is I grab a little dimensional, and I'm going to put it right at the top in the middle, and then I'm going to put a little bit pouch. Thank you. You guys, When you're doing a live like this, sometimes the words just don't come out or they don't come to you the way that you want them to. Pouch is exactly what I was thinking I wanted to say, but belly came out. Oh, you just have to laugh, right? Okay, so in this case, what I did is I put a dimensional at the top and I put a little liquid glue at the bottom. So it looks like the flowers are kind of nestled in there, but then floating out at the top. So that's that one. Our roux here, you gotta be careful with the roux. So what I'm gonna actually do is I'm just gonna put a little piece of Terra tape back there to hold that down. And then I'm also gonna take a glue dot and put that behind his head so he's kind of popping out a little bit. Now, you gotta be careful where you set this because that glue dot, the dimensional, is a little exposed there. So that's that one. Hearts are next, and we're gonna do dimensional at the top with the heart, and then the one heart gets tucked down in there. And I'm gonna also use a piece of Terra tape. Oh yeah. You guys gotta laugh with me, right? Okay, so there's that one. Now we have our party roux here next. So party roux had the same concept as the flowers. The presents didn't fit so good in there. They were kind of wonky. So I liked to put them just like they were right hanging over the edge. And then we're going to do a dimensional at the top again. So dimensional and a little bit of liquid glue at the bottom. And they're not going to be inside. They're just going to be right over the top. But we're going to get them to make it look like she's just hanging on to them. All right. Now the hat, we're going to put a little teeny tiny glue dot. I mean, you could use liquid glue if you wanted, but it's such a small little area. I don't want to risk having my liquid glue oozing all over. So I'm just going to put a rolled up glue dot, and that's going to go right on her head in the middle of her ears. And I am going to take a teeny tiny little dimensional and have that ready so that it's going to be popping up when it comes time to put it on the paper. That dimensional will stick to the paper. So it's like her hat's kind of in outer space here hanging out. What's left? Oh, the envelope. Okay, so last one. Oh, good. So I meant to save this one with the darker front area for the envelope because the envelope covers up a lot of this. And I did tuck the envelope. So be careful if your little bit of fine tip glue pen is, mine's dry. Hopefully yours is too. Oh, hi, Rudy. Right in your work area, so I'll have to finish these with the replay. You know what? Rudy takes precedence. So I had a cat, my Summer was S-O-M-M-E-R, was my cat too, and she would just come and plunk herself right down, either on my lap or on my desk, and there she is. And I do miss that about her. Someday I will have another kitty cat, but not at the moment. But I still feel like she's with me. I'll hear a little clunk on the nightstand and I feel like she's jumping up. Is that crazy? I feel like she's jumping up to say hi. Oh, I found the little butterfly right here. Okay, that's the butterfly that went flying. Okay, so that one goes there. So how are you guys doing with yours? I am at the point where we're ready to put our kangaroos onto our bases. And which one do we want to do first? This guy. So let's look at this. What I did is I popped up my roos. I certainly did. So I'm going to put one behind her head, one over there, here, here, and then I think I'm going to use, you got to get the little dimensionals for on the tail because the big ones are too big. And we're going to go, once you pop, you can't stop, guys. Yes, fur babies stay with us all the time. They never go away, always in our hearts. So there's our roux with the hearts. So grab your card. Now remember, you want to save room here on the right for that little bow. So I'm going to have it so it's something like that. And then you guys still had your little piece of faux espresso ribbon, F-A-O-U-X. That slides underneath here, just like this. And you're going to cross them and put one in through the hole here. And let's see how our tails are going to end up. They're going to go like this. So this is how you make this fake tie bow thing on a card. So glued the sides down, and then now I just took a little short piece and then just tighten it, and then you're gonna trim off the tails like that. All right, and we'll embellish it in a moment. I think that needs to be a hair shorter. So, but this one's ready to go. We just got to get the little butterflies. So I'm going to set that out to the side. Next, we're going to do flower power. So we have this kangaroo here, and we're going to prep the back like we just did the other one. So we're going to put some big uns, and then we're going to do some small uns. And that's going to go right over our ribbon as well. So that's the Seaside Spray metallic ribbon. It is retiring with the catalog, the current catalog. Now this is going to go on here as well. So depending on where you put your ribbon, like if you're a person like that they need to be laying or sitting on something, you could have had it so that they were resting on the ribbon. I think I'm just going to go for it, something like that. And then you had your schnibbins here. Yeah, I'm reading your comment, Zaina. Yeah, so Summer used to sleep in the crook of my neck. Like, sometimes she'd sleep on me all night long, and I wouldn't move for hours. She would just sleep on me. All right, so let's see here. I got Rachel calling me. Hang on. You guys, I gotta get back to where we were. Okay, hang on. All right, so that one right here is tied. And then trim your ends on the Seaside Spray. Okay, so far so good. We gotta get our embellishments on. Baby Roo is next. Hi Linda, hi Chris. All right, so we're gonna pop and not stop until we're done. So combination, this is where you guys wonder, well, should I have mini dimensionals? Should I have big dimensionals? You should have both. I'll tell you, when they came out with these mini dimensionals, it was the most amazing thing. Because I used to take all my big dimensionals and cut them in half. And now I'm at the point where I don't want to cut dimensionals in half. Because they make little dimensionals. So remember we had our squinching or squishing of our ribbon over on the side there. So we're going to have this guy over here. And now for this one, we're going to use a little glue dot to put the bow on. So grab your glue dots, put it right over that squished area. And then you're going to set your bow. Make sure you find the front of the bow. There is a front and a back. Okay, so that's going to go there. Now, your tails may go wonky on you. If they do, just grab a glue dot. So this one's going off a little bit to the other way. Grab a glue dot and just show it who's boss. And we're going to put one more right where the tail, right there, because then now it's going to stay flat. Okay, so you saw that it was going off to the other way, and I didn't like that. So I want it to come down, and then this one gets cut like that. Cutesy little bowsies. Sometimes I'll even put glue dots behind the bunny ears if they're just not quite laying right. So there's our baby card. What's next? We're gonna do our Love You Roo one here, the little envelope. And then a little guy on the tail, another one on the tail, and there. Then this one's going to go on our pretty peacock base. We have also the squished ribbon there. So grab a glue dot, and we're going to put our bow. Hi, Rachel Wild. Sorry I had to dismiss your call. I'm in the middle of a live, girlfriend. You probably are like, she never does that to me. What's going on? All right, so we're going to put that bow right there, and I'm squishing it together to make it look like it meets there. And I'm going to do the same thing with my tails. I'm going to put a glue dot down there, and then I'm going to do another one on the other side. And then those tails will come down nice. Grab your ribbon scissors. Trim your tails at an angle. All right. How's that one for you guys? Cutesy. I'm curious, are your bows, do your bows survive the mail, or do you have to fluff them up again? All right, lastly, we have our party Roo here, and with the presents. So we're gonna pop her up and grab the little guys And we'll put them on, and then we gotta get some diamonds. Oh, we have to do our insides yet too, guys. We'll do our insides. The insides are easy though. We're gonna do all 5 of them at the same time. And see, we've got our little bit of our dimensional right there for the party hat. And that'll go right here. And then our little bow with a little glue dot. So when I have a little bow with the twine, I roll that little glue dot so that it's not a circle, and then it won't be all over the place. And that's gonna go right there. As I'm putting it into the glue dot, I like to pull the tails down so that they're, oh, and look at that, I cut it the right length for the bow. There, okay. All right, so where are you guys at? Do you guys are you as far as I am with these? Did I leave you in the dust? Sorry if I did. So we have all of our bases done. We have all of our roos attached. We're gonna work on the insides now. So if you guys, if you're still working on putting that together, that is no problem. You can always stamp your insides at a later time, or like when you get caught up. But I have here 5 3x4s, and there's 5 of them. You guys should each have 5. And what I'm gonna do is take my espresso ink, so early espresso, and this little dude right here is adorable. So he's looking that way. So I like to stamp things that are looking that way in the left corner. Whereas if they're looking the other way, then like I would have put him on this side. Whereas if I would put him over here like this, I feel like he's looking off the page into Never Never Land. And this way he's gonna be looking up here. Oh, here's the other thing. I also like to do the sentiment first, because if I stamp the sentiment crooked, then I can just flip it over. So we're gonna put on here just hopping by to say hi, which works for all of these cards. So you could put a different sentiment in here. There's a stamp that says sending you paper hugs, which would be perfect for that one. There's one in inspiring, that one's comfort and hope, I think, has sending you a paper hug. There's one that says sending you well wishes or big hugs or something. That would be perfect for that if you needed a get well card for somebody. This one could be sending you lots of love. That would be perfect. This one could say happy birthday in it, but hopping by just to say hi is perfect in all of them. So there we've got our Roo, which will go for our pink one. We're gonna do hopping by just to say hi on this one, and little Roo in the corner. So that'll be for that one. Then we're gonna do the same thing for the flowers. Oh, see there, it's a little crooked. So now this is where you can flip it over and stamp it a little crooked again, and that's okay. It's handmade, right? So if it's slightly crooked, it's okay. That one's gonna go for that one. Then we're gonna do hello baby for the baby. I have somebody from work that asked me for a baby card, and I have an extra one of these so I can give her a baby card. Purple's good, it's neutral, right? It could go for a boy or a girl. That's not right. Hang on, what am I doing? I meant to do this guy right here. Okay, so that's for our hello baby. Oh, I want to do happy birthday on here. So wishing you a happy birthday. So, you guys, I have to go get, oh, I know what we're gonna do. I have to go get all my butterflies. You gotta give me 10 seconds for a slight commercial break. Commercial break will entail seeing this for 10 seconds while I go run and get butterflies and diamonds and a birthday saying. Okay, we're back to the regularly programmed broadcasting here. Handsomely Suited has a happy birthday to you. So we're gonna use that inside that one. And let's see what we can do here. We had a piece of scrap paper. Where did it go? Right here. So I always like to stamp off a little bit before I go into my chamois. I know that stuck to my hand. These things just happen. Okay, so there's that. And we're gonna put that on this block. So It's a little bit long for it, so I'm gonna go diagonal. And I'm not gonna use the piercing mat for this one because it's a red rubber stamp. And we're gonna put a happy birthday to you. Really crooked, so we're gonna bring it down a hair on the right and see if that helped. It did, good deal. That's why you get two sides to every paper. Okay, and then we're gonna bring back this to do our roux here on the bottom. Okay, insides are stamped. Now here's up to you guys. If you feel like coloring more kangaroos, go for it. Color in your little joeys. So I colored them the same way as I colored the mama. I used dark crumb cake, light crumb cake, and flirty flamingo for the ear. So totally up to you if you want to do that or not. Okay, so we've got that clean and that one clean. So then that one was from Well Suited, but you could grab any kind of happy birthday sentiment that you want. I think we're done with this. So if you guys are up for more coloring, you can always color these at any point. So, but we're gonna do these two get glued first, since they're right there. And when you go to glue these in, you want to make sure that you center them good on the inside of the card. So ultimately, you've got a little bit of wiggle room because this Night of Navy is a hair bigger than the white, but as long as you center this good, like that, you should be able to cover it like that. Okay, so there's one. What is this one? This is our Rococo Rose one. So let's grab that one here. Same thing, we're just gonna center that right in the middle. So sometimes I color my insides and sometimes I don't. I should say usually I don't. I mean, you can if you want. Like if you want a really complete card, definitely color him, but it doesn't look bad with him not colored. So it's up to you. If you have the time, do it. And if you don't, then don't. All right, so we're gonna do our peacock one and then we're gonna do our flower power one here. Sure you get it going the right way, and then that is on like that. And this one is our Seaside Spray. Boom. Okay, one left, and then we get to embellish. So let's do this little baby card. So these are the 5 cards I'll be giving away. Next week, Thursday, we're going to do the Well Suited card class. And at the end of class, I'll announce, hi Joanna, I'll announce who the 5 winners for these cards are. Tonight, we're going to announce, afterwards, we're going to announce the winners for those 4 cards. I should say I'm going to. I don't have anybody here with me. All right, so now I'm going to get rid of these guys because we're going to set these here. And we're going to embellish. All right. So in your kits, you should have some butterflies and you should have some diamonds are forever. And the diamonds I gave you, there's 6 of them. I think I gave you 4 and 2. So you can grab the 4, go in the center of the flowers, each of the blue flowers. It's perfect. Now, if you really wanted to, you could take a Daffodil Delight or a yellow blend and color your diamonds and make them yellow. That would be cool. And then our party presents over here in the middle of that present. And, oh, what did I do actually? I only did 2. Oh, I did those 2. I didn't do it in the middle of that one. So we're gonna do one there and, oh, and now of course the sticky stuck. Let's gotta move that back over there. What would we do without these little wonderful tools that we have? And now that goes right there. So I have 2 diamonds that go on those 2 presents. Now, I guess now that I look at it, I could have thrown in a 3rd diamond and you guys could have put a diamond in the middle of that one, but it looks good with just the 2 as well. So that's what I had for diamonds are forever for you. And the butterflies. So what I did is I cut everybody a strip because there was 100 here. I think it's 10 times 10. And so everybody got a strip of butterflies. And we'll start with purple, and we're gonna take this guy And we got one there. Now, the rando butterfly that was on the Peacock Ink, we're going to use him. So if you ever have an embellishment that's randomly anywhere, you can take a glue dot and put it on the back of it and not throw it away and have it be used. There we go. So we just salvaged a butterfly that somebody lost along the way. So then we have terracotta tile. I've got my butterflies going different ways. So that one's going that way, and this one's kind of going that way. So there's terracotta. Peacock is next. So there's 1, 2. Now I know people that have a hard time that you want 3s for your embellishments. This is hard. I decided to go with just the 2 on that side because of how the embellishments came. I just like the 2 on that side. They're just 2 little butterflies fluttering around. And then this one has the 2 as well. Boom, boom. Now, did we forget Stella? We could Stella. I'm going to very lightly Stella over the flowers. I'm going to not do it anymore though, because my brown started to, I'm just going to go really lightly over some. You got to be very careful because with that brown, it wanted to bleed. Our hearts we were done with. Our presents we used Stella. Oh, the last thing I would do, make sure your Stella's clean. You could Stella the present, but do not touch the Peacock ink. It will make it bleed, but you could go all the way around it like that. Okay. Boom, done. Like that, like that. All right, guys. How did you do? Did you guys follow along okay? Look at, we got all 5 of them made. Which one is your favorite? I'm curious. I have 2 favorites. Not that I don't like the other 3, but if I had to pick my 2 favorites, I love flowers and I love this peacock with that envelope. So I think that I would pick these 2 as my favorite, but everybody likes different things. The hearts are cool. The baby one's cool. Just who doesn't have the kangaroo set and now they want the kangaroo set? I'm really curious. I know, Linda, you said you were thinking about it now, but this little kangaroo set is quite adorable. There's some grass in here too. There's a heart by itself. There's also a little butterfly. So it really is a very versatile set, and it will, I think if you don't mind kangaroos, I think you would get a lot of use out of it. And you also have to think about who you're giving cards to. Some people love kangaroos, and just the thought of getting a card with a kangaroo with something coming out of its pouch would be amazing. So there we go, guys. Okay. How did you do? I'm curious. I know that Sandy, she was a good student. She worked ahead and she got all of her stuff colored ahead of time. So she should be done with all her cards, I'm guessing. I'm curious how all the rest of you are doing. So did you get all your stuff put together? That's my question. So what we have coming up, I had mentioned that my goal is to get 3 catalog launch party fun fold in color cards done, 3 of them, because I have to wait. I can order from the new catalog on Tuesday, and one of the cards I'm using the new plant set. I have some shelves that plants are going to be sitting on, so I won't be able to finish that one until later next week, but I'm going to get the other 3 done, so you guys can at least see 3 of the 4 cards for the catalog launch party. And so I'll be live sometime. My goal is on Sunday to show you all the June cards, like the pansy card, and the 4 pansy cards are beautiful. I have all the Beauty of the Earth cards done, which are later in June. I have the chicken cards done, which is for game night and for the chicken and breakfast class that I have. I don't have the bingo cards done. Bingo is in person, and generally that's the class that I wait till 2 days before to design because I only do that class in person. So we'll see once where I get with the bingo cards, if they are before the trip or after the trip. But yeah, my goal is to have almost all of the online class cards to show you guys so you can see them ahead before I leave. And so that means I'll be live on Thursday of next week at 6 p.m. doing the Well Suited. And then you guys can watch for Tip Tuesday. People were asking me, what time does Tip Tuesday usually get like aired at? And what time does Technique Thursday? Well, we always try for the morning, but Kelly is the one that schedules them and publishes them. And she's a working gal as well. We both have full daytime jobs. And so if something happens with technology and we don't catch it until somebody tells us, hey, where's your Tip Tuesday? I've been watching for it. we don't do that intentionally to make you guys wait. It's something happens with technology and we don't know usually because we don't go looking for it because we think that, hey, it's like we set it up, it should go. So if you guys ever are not seeing it by about noon, you could reach out to either one of us and just have us check on it and we'll see once what happened. But usually Tip Tuesdays and Technique Thursdays are aired first thing in the morning. Like we try to schedule them for early, like 8 o'clock. So it's always our thought is to get them right away. Because we do record them ahead of time. We don't record them on Tuesdays and Thursdays because we're both working at the times that they're usually airing. So yeah. So if you guys ever don't see them by like noontime, just reach out to us and don't ever feel like a pest that you are like, where are they? No, we get it. Like you're helping us stay on our A games, right? So that's what you can watch for. So Sunday and then Tip Tuesday, Technique Thursday, and then I'll be live on Thursday night with the well-suited cards. So woohoo! All right. Don't forget to sign up for product shares or the DSP sampler if you are in the mood for that. And let's do some Hydrangea card winners. Okay, let's flipper still skin it down and show you the cards that we made these last Thursday. So it was from the Hydrangea Hill Suite or Hydrangea Haven Suite. And then the stamp set. So these were the 4 cards. I don't have any kits left, guys. Don't ask for any, please. I'll have to tell you no. But that was our little bit of a fun fold. I really tried to feature purples and blues are part of the paper, but I had to throw in a Rococo Rose because some of that paper has Rococo Rose in it. But the 4 cards were just exquisite. I loved them all. I couldn't figure out which one I liked the best. But if I had to pick, I'd probably pick this one because I love that little bow on there. So, all right, drum roll. Winner, chicken dinner of this card is Cheryl Thomas. You are the lucky winner. I do not have your address. I don't know if I know you. And I'm so happy for you because you got this beautiful card. So you'll have to private message me your address. All right, we're going to do this one last. Okay. Drum roll, please. Winner is Kathy Halloran. You are the lucky winner of this card. Yay for you. Love the fun fold. All right, drum roll is winner, Sherry Miller. Look at that. We had a Cheryl and a Sherry. I like it. So Sherry Miller, you are the lucky winner of this Hydrangea card. All right, and last but certainly not least, drum roll. Winner is Trinket Troy. You are the lucky winner of my favorite card. I love it. I just love everything about this card. And it's so simple. It was just basically paper and a little ribbon and embellishments. So good card. Awesome, awesome. I just got your address. I need Sherry and Cheryl's addresses, and I have Kathy's. So nice little combination here. People I don't know and people I know. So guess what else we have? We're going to give away the half-off item for the well-suited class. So every month I try to give, since November, I have been giving away the half-off bundle that is associated with the suite class or the bundle class that I do. So the month of April was Hydrangea and Dawn Funk. I was like, who won? Dawn Funk won that one. And then the winner for Well Suited. So for 2 weeks, I've had a video that people were sharing. If you're in my VIP group, you have access to participate in this raffle that I'm doing. And to become part of my VIP group, you have to be either my customer or on my team. And in customer, I mean a purchasing product customer. So somebody who purchases Stampin' Up! Product from me. And if you've purchased product recently, I do my best to try to add you to my VIP group, but I really appreciate it when you remind me. We have to be friends on Facebook for me to invite you to the VIP group. So if you have purchased from me and we're not friends on Facebook, we have to become friends on Facebook, and then I will invite you. So reach out to me if we need to get that set up. And Kelly does a Saturday spotlight showcase of a plethora of different card samples. Every week she features a different bundle or stamp set. And so she tries to coordinate it with what cards I'm doing for classes, which is awesome. So this post that was a video that I did about 2 weeks ago showcasing the well-suited cards. So people had the option from the VIP group to share that video and comment that they shared the video. And from there, I did a drawing. And I'm happy to announce we have a winner. Where's the stamp set? Right here. So here's the handsomely suited stamp set and the dies. So the person who wins this has the option to get this at half off from me. So it makes it like $27. If you're not local, you always just pay the shipping. Unless I'm sending you something already, then we can just figure out what the difference is or add it in if it's not more. And like if you're getting a priority envelope already, so we can just throw it in there. So are you guys ready to see who the winner of the handsomely suited stamp set and dies are? You guys help me do the drum roll. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's not the right Post-it note. There it is. Jeannie Parker, you are the winner of this half off set. So I had my note here that it was around like $27.50. So there you go. You have the option if you want this. Now, if you decide that you already have it and you don't want it, it's okay. We can always find out who the next winner would have been, but I always like to give you first dibs. So congratulations, girlfriend. So we'll be in contact to figure out how you want to do it. So I did already ship off your well-suited card, so your one package is on the way, but I know that you have a DSP sampler coming with your name on it in about a week and a half, and we could always throw this in there, and then you wouldn't have to pay the shipping because you already got the DSP sampler, so that would be awesome. So, all right, girlfriend, we'll connect on that, but congratulations. So what I'll be doing is I have another one in the VIP group. I have another video that I did about the chicken cards. And so what I'm doing for that one is I'm giving away a set of 4 of the card kits for that one. So very awesome. And then I think we'll do the same thing for the video this coming Sunday, that whoever shares it and then comments that they share it gets their name in for the hat for the drawing of whatever I decide. I don't know. Oh, what will that one be? That will be for the beautiful of the earth, or the beauty of the earth. That's the next week class that's coming up. So, all right, guys, it's Friday night, and now I have to go to the gym. I don't have to, but I'm going. It'll make Tyler happy if we go work out a little bit. So I ran a mile 2 Mondays ago, and I was sore for 4 days. I haven't run a mile in probably 2 years, but I'm like, oh, let's just see if I can do a mile. And I did it, and I paid for it for 3 days. You couldn't cross the legs, you know, like those muscles in the inner thighs get sore, and like you can't cross the legs. So I'm sure that's what it'll be like for the next 4 days for me. So wish me luck. But I have been keeping up with the push-ups. That has been happening almost every single day since the new year, you guys. Some of you are new to me. My New Year's resolution was to do at least 10 push-ups every day. And I've been good. I do about 25 days out of the month. So that's good for me. So I know Jean Maxwell is always asking about it. So not always, but she has been the one that asks. So I always like to give you guys a little bit of scoop on that. So, all right. Is there anything that I forgot? I always ask that, and then nobody ever tells me anything. And then when I'm done with the live, I'm like, oh, shoot. I was supposed to say something about that. So, I don't know. So, hey, Jeannie Parker. I'm not sure if you caught, but you were the winner of the half off option to get the handsomely suited stamp set and dies, the bundle. So, congratulations, girlfriend. We'll have to connect to see if you want that, to make sure you want it. All right. Well, you guys, lots of sunshine and love and hugs to you guys. I hope you have a very pleasant and wonderful weekend. And until I see you again, lots of love. Bye.